Joining the show today, a pair of freshly minted back-to-back Walter Cup champions with your Minnesota Frost, Lee Stecklein and Kelly Pannek. Welcome. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, thank you.
Now, I told you guys before we started, we've had Grace and Taylor on several times, and the first question here I've got to throw out there for Taylor. Would it have had even the slightest bit of a better ring to it if we were saying Purple Rain were reigning back-to-back champs?
I know that was always her favorite, but I think we all grew quite attached to the Frost this year. The fans seem to love it. We love our colors, and it really fit. And so to do it now as the Frost, that does feel right.
Yeah, what were your picks for names?
We have the new F logo too now, so
yeah.
You can do that with Purple Rain.
That's true. I wasn't sure if you guys had any, picks yourself or any suggestions when that process was going on. Like, what was your kind of go-to one that you wanted?
I don't know if that's either of our skill set of trying to pick a name.
We're not
the Rain would have
creative.
been cool, but it was just hopefully it's something that is good and fits, and I think they did a really nice job.
It's a singular name too, like the Wild, Lightning Frost. Like there's no, very rare to have that in a lot of different team names. Our podcast is called Fellowship of the Rink, so it's a stick tap to our Lord of the Rings fandom. I wasn't sure if you guys are LOR fans or if you have what's your kind of nerd itch or kind of off the ice kind of quirk that you're into, like TV series, movies, books.
Oh gosh.
Like collectible
I'm
or game,
reality
board game
TV fan, so I'm a bad. It's so bad. I love Bravo shows, the trashy ones on Netflix and Hulu. I'm all set on those.
That's my wife to a T.
Yeah.
I like those too. I do read. I have not read Lord of the Rings. My brother-in-law would love for me to read them. I know there's some of his favorite books, but he got me started on a few others, and maybe I'll make it there eventually.
So what's the go-to? Or what's the best one or the current one?
I'll read anything. I do love historical fiction. I do love fantasy. I just read the first Mistborn trilogy by Brandon Sanderson and liked those, so I'll probably read a few more of his.
And Kelly, what's your show then? Is it like my wife got me into Love Is Blind? We had to watch that for a while. And so
the Minnesota one was unhinged.
It was funny, but you're like, what do you expect for a bunch of people from Minnesota? This is just how it is. And yes, everyone does kind of know everyone. Me and Natty Verney actually roomed together on the road, and that was one of our pre-game routines. Is we just had to watch Love Is Blind, and then once we finished that, which is takes a day and a half, we did just had to find new ones. And so Love Is Blind is a good one. Love Island is always a classic for me. And Bravo right now, I got to finish Summer House, the season that's on. So this is a very opposite direction of what Lee just took with some good books.
No, I'm in for those shows too, Kelly. Yeah. Kelly got me watching Love Island years ago. So
I'm more curious, what's the cringiest show that you've still pushed through? You're like, I shouldn't be watching this, but I'm going to keep watching this.
Actually, the one that we most recently just did it's a new show on Netflix. It's called Sneaky Link. And it's such a good, bad show, but it's so entertaining. But that was one where we just have to push through, and it was working. If we were winning, you got to keep watching this.
See, the problem is with how everything works now with technology, my phone just heard us talk about that. It's going to somehow connect that over to my wife's phone. It's going to push it into her algorithm. It's going to pop up, and I'm going to go upstairs later today, and that's what's going to be on TV.
Oh my God.
Yeah, perfect. It's so bad, but it's so good.
Well, last year you guys won on the road. I think you were in a pub in Lowell, right? For forever. I think that night. This time to win it at home obviously had to be special. What was the coolest part of the celebration? Whether it was at Tom Reed's, whether it was at the rally, whether it was the after party. What was the coolest part of the celebration for you guys this time around?
I think winning it at home and getting your friends and family there, and they were able to come on the ice. That was really cool. I know last year, just my dad and sister went to the finals. So like my mom and brother, they didn't get to see the trophy or really experience any of that until I had my date with the cup later on. So that was really fun to kind of get to do all of that right away. But I also standing on the blue line, waiting to get the trophy and looking at the fans sort of for the first time. I hadn't done that during the game. Obviously, they were a great crowd, great energy, but I was really like standing there and looking around and seeing, you know, how many people were there. And that was really cool. Just kind of overwhelmed by the support we had.
Yeah, I'd agree. And I also would add too, like one of my favorite moments was, and this you could do anywhere, but it was like being able to be in our locker room and like after it was like cameras left and it was like just the girls and like having a moment before everyone kind of like went on to get ready to go to the after stuff. That was really special. And that was something like the locker room in Boston, the forward and the D are split up into like two kind of different like nooks of the room. And it's just a smaller space. So like it was, I feel like there were so many bodies in one area, but then for us to have like our bigger room that's ours and being able to celebrate together before we really like went off and celebrated with our friends and family and stuff too was really cool.
Kelly walking in with the trophy was pretty cool too. That was awesome.
You have to shoot your memes and stuff too, right? The little videos afterwards of like not one but two, and you guys are all posing with your sunglasses, you know, the good goggles and stuff like that.
Yeah, the TikTok turned out well. We're me and Lee again, not the TikTokers on the team, but the girls, I think it was Chan or Brooke Bryant. They were like, "We got to do this," and it turned out really well. It was funny.
Nice.
Well, Kelly, tell us about climbing the Herb Brooks statue. I was interested how that idea came to be, and like, were you nervous about like breaking Herb, or like, you know, nervous about like, you know, the trophy, you know, somehow in the process? Or
someone just said someone get on there, so I think me and Maggie Flaherty like got up there, and then they gave us the trophy, and it was kind of an outrageous thing to be like standing just way above people with this heavy, huge trophy. I think I made eye contact with Maddie or something, and we're just laughing because it's what a funny moment, but it always feels right to climb an elevated surface. And I was pretty quick to raise the trophy and then lower it back down to safe level.
Nice. And obviously very cool to be able to celebrate all of this at home in front of the fans, but talking about just the whole championship run, like even if you want to go full season, what was different about the second championship run?
I think we were really excited that we didn't end regulation on that sort of losing streak last year. I think that experience, we were definitely not eager to recreate that part of it. And we couldn't, like, we needed to win those last few games to even make playoffs. So to successfully get those points this year and like win our way in, I felt like was huge and got us the momentum early enough to keep that going through the series. And just, I think, helped us keep playing better and better hockey.
What do you think, Kelly?
Yeah, I agree. I think our seasons were actually also kind of similar at the same point, where like you kind of, and I think it goes for every team in the league, where you kind of can get on a stretch where you're maybe rolling a bit, and then there's maybe a lull at some point in there just because it is such a competitive league. But yeah, definitely finishing off the season the way we did, I think gave everyone like a ton of confidence. Like we knew if you let us in the playoffs, or if we get in the playoffs, like we're always going to be a challenging team, like starting from the back, like with our goaltenders. I mean, just what a like special thing to have two of the best goalies in the world that are proven winners, have won it a bunch of different levels and on the biggest stages. So to have both of them, and then going into our D, and like our D carried us throughout the playoffs. And it's a lot of it comes with the offense, but also just like when they move the puck well on breakouts and they're shutting down on defense, like it helps our entire team go. And then from there, it's just relying on our depth. And yeah, like it's again similar, like starting with Toronto. I think everyone has just such great feelings. Like I personally, like I enjoy going to their building and playing in Toronto. They have great fan support, but again, like just we have good memories playing there and playing that team. So it definitely felt different in that our team was playing. It felt like we were playing some of our best hockey at the right time.
Talk about just the group you guys have, the locker room, the leadership. There's a lot of noise that had to be tuned out this year, right? Between what happened with Natalie Darwitz after the championship run last year, you know, a lot happen online around the drafting of Britta Curl. Like, how do you guys get through and navigate a season like that and get to another championship?
I mean, there's even a lot of people that were pissed that we draft Claire Thompson.
Yeah.
And you're like, again, look at the player that she has been and then that she was this year. I think the one thing, like, taking away from last year and what everything that happened in the offseason, like, everyone in our locker room knew what the truth was. So it was a lot of people that have no idea what they're talking about trying to give an opinion.
No, never.
Yeah, right. So that's one thing. I think it speaks to, again, like, the people that we have in our locker room and everyone being like, no, we know what's real, we know what's not. And then just having a lot of people in our locker room that just have won at so many different levels. Winning is a skill. Like, I think that's something that people don't always think about. Like, being able to win and knowing what that feels like, it usually produces more winning. And that's a big part, again, of like our group, with knowing what big moments feel like. I think our bench during game 4 against Ottawa was just like in the perfect place. Like, it was we were all really engaged with the game. We were all very much like, cheering each other on, but we don't have a group that's like a big hoorah. Like, we're not trying to like fake this positivity that, like, if we're not playing great, sometimes we're just not playing that well. But when we're all like engaged with each other and locked into what's happening, I think it produces really great results.
And with Curl, too, people forget she's a heck of a player too. What's his loss and all that stuff like that. Scored some big goals for you all. With all the stuff that goes on outside of that, like, what people don't know about Curl as a person and off the ice, or just who she is and as a teammate, that it seems like she's really well loved by you guys, versus I know she gets booed by their team's fan bases, but like, it seems like she's a core part of the group.
Yeah, I mean, she's an awesome teammate, an awesome person. There is always a lot of noise, and I think we just wanted to make sure that our locker room is the place we need it to be, and that everyone is getting along, supporting each other, respecting each other. And no one else will get to see that. Like, that's our room, and that we get to keep that as our room. But I think again, through everything last year, through the summer, through the fall, and all of the noise through this year, we were able to just stay together. And that's a testament to our group and the people we have in our locker room. Like Kelly said, you look up and down that lineup, and it's people who we love hockey. We love playing together. We have great open communication and just support for each other. And I think that's what you need in playoffs. That's what you need to win hockey games, is to go out there and be playing for the person next to you shift after shift. And like she said, on her bench, that's just how you keep rolling. And yeah, just really grateful for the group we have.
How does winning the Walter Cup, back to back or not, compare to all the other winning you guys have done? You've got several natties, you've got the gold medals. Like, what's different about it? How does it stand out?
I think like, they all feel very different. I don't think you can look at them and be like one, like they all rank really close. I think it's really special to one, like a season-long championship and something that is over like a time. There's something special to that. Like, I always remember in college, Frosty would always say, like, the hardest trophy to really win in that is the regular season WCHA tournament, or WCHA like race, right? Just because it's consistency over time. And the Walter Cup is kind of similar in that, like, you need to have a good performance throughout the entire year to get yourself in position to win a trophy. And again, with the parity in the league right now, like, it is just such a challenge to do it. And be able to look back like at the whole journey and what that means, it's really special. I think it's being able to represent a community and having a fan base that directly supports you. I think that's the biggest difference for me from like international stuff to this. Is international, it's obviously huge. Like, winning a gold medal is truly a dream come true. But you don't have that feeling of like celebrating with your fans and with your community, because you get to celebrate with your team. You might see some love online. You might get to do a few like cool things with the team after, but it's not like you get to bring a trophy back to like your community. And I think that's always been a big takeaway too, is being able to like be out in our community and be able to say you play for the Frost, or people might recognize you here and there. And it just makes it kind of special in a different way.
How about you, Lee?
Yeah, I think the series part also feels pretty different. I think we've all been part of teams where maybe it's one game, it's that championship game or the semifinals, whatever it is. You might not have your best day and that's it. So to have a series where you're winning a best of 5, we've never experienced that before this league. So it's different, but I think it's also really cool that it's like, no, let's see over a series of 5 who's the best team here, and you're able to reset. It just changes things a little.
What do you say to the claims from everyone that you guys are just way too addicted to hockey and refuse to play a 3-period game?
Claire Thompson she was my D partner, and she kept saying, okay, we get just a little bit more time together, Lee. You never know how many periods you'll get together. So we're having too much fun. We wanted to keep playing, I guess. But I just think, again, I would go back to the goaltending. It was unreal. And we just needed more time over and over again.
This is where you can blame the forwards. Forwards didn't score enough for us. The D and goalies did their job.
Yeah. Well, that triple OT game had to be the turning point, right? In a series like this, right? Just to win that game and like all of a sudden.
I actually think it was game 2 in Ottawa, like that game where we got scored on late. We didn't play very well, honestly. We played probably better in game 1, didn't play great in game 2, and it's a really hard building to play in. That rink has some weird I think it might actually be getting renovated literally as we speak. The glass still has like the metal brackets and bearings, and the boards have no give. So if you get hit against the wall there, you feel it. And then sometimes pucks takes weird bounces and whatever. And then their fans are just right on top of you, and they're loud the entire game. So for us to tie that up, it was 17 seconds left to give us a chance to then win it, to get us to overtime, and then to obviously win that game in overtime. That gave us a chance to where we go home. If we win 2 games, 1, we don't have to travel again, and 2, we just win. I think that was the biggest turning point. Was actually giving us that chance to where if we get 2 games at home, and if we win.
I like the prioritization ranking there. Travel over just winning.
Yeah, it was to the we cannot come back to this building. We cannot come back to this building this year. We cannot get on another plane for another turnaround. We played in that series. It was supposed to be every other day. Or it was every other day, and then the same thing would have been for game 5. And that's with travel, that's hard.
Yeah, for sure. And Lee, you mentioned there, you don't know how many shifts you're going to get with your D partner. Has it set in at all? Have you guys talked about it? PWHL Expansion is pretty crazy. I actually just learned last week when Joe and I recorded what the actual rules are, and it sounds pretty unhinged.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be crazy.
This interview is brought to you by our friends at Waggle Golf. Waggle Golf believes what you wear on the course should reflect your individuality, who you are, where you're from, your hobbies, interests, and passions. All the stuff that makes you, well, you. That's why every design is inspired by the desire to create a piece of apparel that strikes a chord when you see it. That makes you say, wow, that was made for me. Because in a lot of ways, it was. Ready to get your waggle on? Go to getyourwaggleon.com, throw in promo code SP10 at checkout to take 10% off your entire order.
We found out the details, between the series. So we all sort of just put it on the back burner, and now that it's over and, some dates are approaching where you'll start finding out what happens, but we just know it will be different next year. And that's sad, but it does make you maybe appreciate what we just got to do together. Just appreciate it the right way, because it will be different. You don't know who's going to be where, and that's pro sports, and that's what it'll be. But I'll definitely miss this group, whoever's wherever. It was a special group to find a way to win again, like we were able to.
And I guess for Kelly, obviously there's the heartbreak of losing players. You're going to lose some really good. I don't know how you pick the 3 to protect, I guess, in this scenario. But like, is it also like you consider the league expanding, more women getting jobs, right, to play hockey? Is that the balance here of like, it's from the outsider fans, like, how do you know, these girls must have been torn up about this, but also knowing what it can do for, I guess, the sport. Is that a balance for you think?
Yeah, I think spot on. I think it's when you look at it from like your own individual perspective, you're like, this kind of stinks. Like there's just a lot of uncertainty and a lot of things that are outside of everyone's control, right? Like our staff can only protect 3 people and then maybe a fourth. And so, and at that point, you don't even know who could be like, there's just so many things that are uncertain. And when you look at it from your own little bubble, you're like, well, this kind of like stinks. Like, are we again, like if we could have kept our team, like who's to say we couldn't do this all again, right? Like, but I think then there's the other side of it where it's again, like our sport's growing, there's more players that are gonna get an opportunity in this league. You're gonna be the fans too. I mean, like going to some of those takeover tour games, the fans want it, right? The people want it. And so if those markets, like they wanted a team and they advocated to have teams, and it made sense for the league to expand to do that. So yeah, it's there's good and bad to both of it. I think looking at it in a way where again, like it's so much out of our control, but ultimately it just means more people get to be a part of this league.
We wanted to do kind of fun superlatives here to get to know the champs a little bit while you're still together, at least, you know. So we have some fun questions to ask you. You guys both can weigh in on each one. Who's the life of the party? Like, who kept everyone at Tom Reed's until way into the night on the other night? Like, who's the one that's like gets it rolling and keeps it going, I guess?
We have a few. I'd say Michaela Cava is like our social captain. Like she makes sure the plan is in place and that people are having a good time.
I think Brooke Bryant too. Brooke Bryant was one, like it was our 13th forward or whatever, and she was throughout both overtime games at home, like was just so hilarious and kept the group light in the locker room too, and she'll carry that over off the ice as well.
Who's most likely to be a coach?
Kelly Pannek.
Yeah, it's a good and bad thing to that.
Yeah. No, she's one of the smartest hockey players of all time, I think, and already a coach, and I think will be an amazing coach.
Thanks, Lee. Sometimes I need to just keep my mouth shut and be a player, though. So we'll keep going with that.
Who is always almost late? If you don't want to say who's always late, or who's the one that's kind of like last one on the bus, or like last one to meet up at a group thing?
Dom's Petrie.
Petrie, yeah.
Oh, she at the beginning of the year, we would have video meetings, and it would be 3 minutes, and she wouldn't be there. And someone's like, "Are you guys gonna tell her?" And we're like, "We're adults. Like, she should probably get the hint when we're all already sitting in our seats waiting for this video meeting to start." And she's continuously last.
We're just old too. We've had teams where you had to be there like 10 to 20 earlier, you felt late. So yeah, we're really early, and that makes anyone remotely on time feel stressed.
There you go.
Who's the old soul on the team?
Lee. Yeah, Lee. Easily. She has done all the books that she was reading. Historical fiction.
Not a librarian here.
We had a lot of readers on our team, though.
Yeah, we do.
But I'm going to say Lee spearheaded that movement.
Yeah, well, I do like to read.
Who maybe had the most fun and you're most nervous to have them pick up the trophy while you're celebrating?
Like most likely to drop the trophy, just in general.
Yeah.
Who are you gonna say?
I was gonna say Maggie Flaherty. I just feel like she wouldn't drop it, but she'll do something crazy with it. I don't know. And we had the locker room was all, what was it, Kel? Like plastic.
It was like tarped off. Everything was tarped off, and there was tarp on the ground too.
Hitting the splits, and people were slipping and sliding, and I don't know. Maggie would try and do something crazy with it.
Yeah, or I would say like Nat Bookbinder is just kind of like klutzy in general. Like she'll find a way like to do something that looks so unathletic. So, but she wouldn't be maybe as reckless with it.
No.
Who has like the weirdest side hobby, like the weirdest kind of off the ice, like quirky thing that they're into?
Maddie Rooney started a Nutsy shop. She did she's planning stuff for her wedding, so she's trying to find all these like different decor things, and she just basically made templates for like bachelorette parties or anything really. And she's like literally, we were in Boston, I think, at the end of the season, and she made an Etsy shop, and then throughout playoffs, she'd be like, "Oh, sorry, got to go run to the room, have an order, and like have to go do something for it." But she's always doing funny things like that are usually in a creative outlet.
Most likely to go into broadcasting after career's over.
I'd say Kelly again, almost. You've done a little.
Or Kendall. Kendall's done a really nice job. She did it for a while. I don't know. Yeah. Maybe, me or Kendall, maybe.
Okay.
Who I would pay to listen to Sophie Jakes, though, talk about a hockey game. I would pay money to tune in to if she did it, because she is so funny and like dry. And yeah, it's just the way that her brain works would be so funny.
I think Mick would be good too.
Yeah, she would.
Really good, actually. She's got a high hockey IQ.
Yeah. You brought up Kendall. I know she's kind of like one of the faces of the league, and she seems like she could be a politician too, the way she kind of talks and like kind of knows how to handle the tough moments. Do you have a favorite Kendall story? Like that, kind of a real moment off the ice or a fun moment, or like she could goof off.
We joke that like you can't, like Lee said this the other day, like you can't say, "Oh, I need something" around Kendall, like, because she'll be like, "What do you need? I'll go get it. Do you want me to go get? Do you need food? You need water? I'll go get you it." And she's just like so eager to help.
Yeah. I think I said, I sat down once and was like, "Shoot, I forgot to grab silverware," and she is up and getting it for you before, like, not what you were asking, but that is just how fast she operates, how willing she is. So yeah, now if someone says, "Crap, I need this," I'm like, "Don't say it." Kendall, do it. Let Kendall sit down.
She's so, and then on the flip side of it, like she just does not let people really like help her. Like even when like last year more so, when her son was really young and traveling with us a lot, we'd all be like trying to like take back. She's like, "No, I got it. We're like, kind of let us help you. Like we need you to also be physically at your best, and you carrying like 3 different bags, pushing a stroller, like we're gonna help you too." So she's just like so eager to do anything anyone needs.
Got a dog back there. How's your guys' golf game by chance?
I haven't got out yet. I was supposed to go golfing today, and then people said, "No, we're gonna have a party at your house instead." I said, "Okay." I still might not be there, but no, I did have to cancel my tee time. It can be good. It can be pretty good. It can also. I don't practice a lot of golf. I just play, so it has its ups and downs.
Yeah. Before we get to the last question, which you bring up by Waggle, I forgot to ask you, Kelly, about your national hat trick back in high school. Like, was it 22 seconds? Like, I wasn't sure, like, if that was real or not, if that actually happened, like 3 goals in 22 seconds.
No, it was very real. It was at the St. Louis Park Rec Center, I think, against Tino Grace. And the details of it are a little fuzzy. But it was basically like 1 goal scored, fine, normal. And then I think like right off that next face off, basically like that was the shorter time between 1 and 2. And then next face off, it was kind of similar. But very fun fact, that record got broken, I think, the next year.
Oh, really? Wow.
Yeah, by I think a girl from like St. Francis.
Huh.
Yeah, so it's not even, I don't even hold the record anymore.
Hard to beat 22 seconds. Like, you have to get from mid ice to make you move to score. Like, you have to. Like...
I don't know. I can't fact check that one. I can fact check mine, but I can't fact check that one. But kudos to whoever that was.
Final question brought to you, as always, by our good friends at Waggle Golf. First, make sure you head over to getyourwaggleon.com. Throw in promo code SP10 to take 10% off your entire order. Asking both of you, and I don't know if we are going to allow overlap or if you guys want to pick against each other, but we're going to assemble your dream golf foursome. So 3 people you'd want to take out with you for a day of golf. It can be celebrity, athlete, fictional, dead or alive.
Oh, Okay.
Who are we? I just joined Kelly's golf. That's what I usually do. I just go and I hit from wherever Kelly's hitting. So
Best ball.
Yeah, people are always like, I'm like, yeah, but if we're golfing, unless we're like playing against each other, do whatever you want. I don't care. Throw your ball, pick it up, drop it. Just keep the pace of play. Like I don't like the rules. I don't care. I don't know all the rules to a T. Like, I'm gonna bring my dad. I'm gonna assume this is like dream foursome, like a dream course.
Oh yeah.
So I mean,
Oh,
I'm probably gonna be boring though. Be like, it'd probably just be honestly like who I golf with. So I'm like my dad, my brother-in-law, and then my dad, one of my dad's best friends. Like that's who I golf with on a weekly basis. But I can go more entertaining. Should I do athletes here?
You can do athletes,
Let's
actors,
go.
whatever.
Yeah,
Serena
let's
Williams.
go. Yeah, Serena Williams is on there for sure.
Roger
Honestly,
Federer.
Roger Federer is on Lee's. Lee's a tennis fan more than golf fan. My two favorite golfers right now are Jordan Spieth and Nelly Korda, so we can just round it out with 3-4 for that.
Mm-hmm.
Easy. And then Serena, I don't know. Serena, I think would just be hilarious too.
Competitive there.
Yeah.
Lee, how
So
about
you
you?
got Federer. Who else?
Yeah, I would Serena too, please. Who else?
Small
Kelly.
miles.
I want Kelly Pannek.
Yeah.
PWH star Kelly Pannek. Yeah, Simone Biles. That would be sweet.
Wow. Yeah, who's in your
No
cards?
idea if she golfs.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
not a
that's-
requirement for me.
That's not important.
Yeah. Lee would probably walk. She'll get the steps in.
So no cards, no fun for that.
Yeah, I do cards. Golf is not my exercise. I exercise and then play golf.
There you go.
So card. That's like Grace. Grace walks at her course a lot, and I'm like, okay, I'll exercise today.
Yeah. We almost switched it up and did, made you pick your own protection list for the frost, but we decided to be nice and not do that.
Yeah.
Pick the three.
We'll
pick
put
three
a
people.
list. It'll just be like all 25 people.
Yeah, I don't want that job.
Yeah.
That sounds hard.
So what's the games on the backyard today, Kelly's house? So what are the yard games? Is it cornhole? Is it like can jam? Is it like what's the backyard?
Probably again more relaxed games that probably include more beverages.
Mm-hmm.
So probably more ones that require a folding table and maybe some darts or something.
Okay.
There we go.
No injuries allowed though. Well, at this point, who really cares?
Physicals are over. Almost over.
What we'll do is we'll throw some injuries out there so then people won't want to take people.
That's what I was going to say.
They're carrying an injury. Yeah.
And don't need to protect them.
Yeah, I don't know what happened, but they have a really serious cut. It might be infected. They might need long-term treatment. I wouldn't risk it.
Just leak some like crazy contract demands. Like
yeah.
I'm not going to go anywhere unless I get $3 million. Like whatever. I know that's not possible with the cap, but yeah. Well, thanks so much.
Only get to take me if you're going to take me. No one else. Team of one.
I come with this person. This person, without me, you pick her too. Well, thanks so much for joining us. I really appreciate it. Congratulations on back-to-back, and looking forward to see what group does come back next year. I know it'll be different, but you'll still have a lot of the core pieces going forward. So enjoy the celebrations and have fun, and we'll catch up with you guys another time.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.